Welcome to the Orange Hammer Podcast. My name is Corbett Storick. I've been a licensed general contractor for 8+ years, specializing in new construction, renovation, furniture building. I'm the son of an architect and an interior designer, and I've been surrounded in this industry since birth, watching all aspects from concept, design, build, punch list, and of course, all the problems that come up in between. In my time in Durham, North Carolina, I've noticed a significant gap in knowledge between homeowners who need work and the people who do the work. On this podcast, I hope to break down the process of homeownership from the perspective of both the homeowner and the contractor in an effort to help raise the knowledge of homeowners about their homes and the construction/renovation process. I hope you enjoy. If you're enjoying the Orange Hammer Podcast, or if you have a topic that you want covered, or have recently done a project, please contact the Orange Hammer Podcast. The Orange Hammer Podcast is on Instagram and Facebook. Please like and subscribe, share on whatever platform you're enjoying your podcast on. Also, check out our YouTube channel, The Orange Hammer. The Orange Hammer Podcast is proud to be brought to you by CRS Contracting LLC for all your construction and handyman needs, new buildings to renovations, furniture building, EV charger install, or even a TV mounted. You can call me, Corbett Storick. It'd be my pleasure to help you. You can find me on Instagram at CRS Contracting. WSDG, the Walter Storick Design Group, specialists in architectural and acoustical consulting. Check out WSDG.com. And Taylor Bragg, for all your artistic needs in all mediums. You can find her on Instagram at brag_about_art. That's brag, BRGG, with 2 G's. She's the fantastic artist behind the Orange Hammer logo, and she did my fantastic table painting of my podcasting table. The Orange Hammer Podcast is proud to be brought to you by Stacy Sloan with Keller Williams Elite Realty, proudly serving the Durham and Triangle area for 25 years. Call Stacy at 919-972-1180. The Orange Hammer Podcast is proud to be brought to you by Rachel Z with Rachel Z Real Estate Team Realty. From the Triangle to the Triad, call Rachel Z at 919-323-6068. All right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Orange Hammer Podcast. Here we are with Joe and Ashley. I'm not even going to attempt, so just how do you say the last name?
Sheryak. It's
Sheryak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cher, the singer.
Yes.
The letter E and yak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you break it down, it makes sense, but I wasn't even going to try because I was going to maybe go with Sheryak.
Yeah, that's common.
But yeah, so it's okay. We share unique, strange last names that nobody can pronounce.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Grew up with it. It's fine.
Yeah, I grew up with Corbin from Corbin Dallas from Fifth Element, and then Stork. They just dropped and I was like, do I look like a bird that delivers your babies? Like, come on, what's going on? So yeah, we share that. But you have normal first names, so you're not really in the club. You're kind of.
I'm still a Roberts.
Oh, you're still a Roberts. Oh,
Yes.
I apologize.
So-
I
For
thought
now.
you guys were. I thought you guys were married and had the same last name. That's my bad. We will change the podcast recording. We will update it when we finish this.
No worries. Maybe soon. We'll see.
Maybe soon. Oh, okay. Are there plans for that? Do we have an announcement for the 14 listeners?
No, not yet. But we talk about things, stuff.
Have you guys been together a while? I'm just gonna pry right into your personal relationship.
No, I love it.
So let's just jump in. What is your blood type? No. I'm just
Oh, positive.
yeah, me too. What's up?
No way.
Woohoo!
I don't know mine.
You don't know yours? Okay, I'm gonna
No.
push this closer because you're very quiet. Have you guys been together a while?
Yeah. Yesterday was 2 years and 9 months.
That's a while.
That's a
Yeah,
minute.
for sure. What? How old are you guys?
27
28.
Oh, okay.
for now. Her.
Everyone will age. This is true.
30's
Yes.
creeping up fast.
Yep. Yep. I'm 32. It doesn't change. Yeah. When you become 30, you're just like, oh, my back's more sore at the gym. Other than that, nothing really changes. It's all the same. Yeah. So we met at the Meet and Mingle.
Yeah.
And you guys seem to know quite a few people there, especially Mr. Finance, who was just like laughing at the fact that I knew somebody who was a financial advisor that wasn't him, which I just thought was hysterical.
It was his like direct coworker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but he was very like nonchalant about he was like infinitely better and cooler, and I was like, I don't know you, and you're shit talking a friend of mine. I don't know what's up with that.
Oh, I didn't hear the shit talk.
Oh, well, maybe I could have made that up, or you were just talking to someone else. I don't know.
Oh, maybe I'm
it's
not
possible.
sure.
Yeah,
Not sure.
yeah.
He usually speaks really highly of him. Like I've heard him. I can't remember the other guy's name, but
Connor.
yeah. I've heard him talk about Connor a whole.
They both started
bunch.
at the same time,
Yeah.
or one works for the other.
They started at the same time.
Okay.
They were in like that same cohort.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
yeah, I've heard a bunch of stories of him, and he's always actually spoken pretty highly of him.
I have not heard
I've
any
met
of the
Connor, too.
stories,
Mhm.
but I've lifted weights with Connor,
Yeah.
and the guy's a machine.
I believe that.
Like,
Yeah, he does everything he does though.
Yeah,
Like-
he maxed out all the weight I have in my home gym.
Awesome.
And then put chains on it, and I was like, "All right, dude, like my neck hurts. Like this, I'm hurt watching. Yeah, it was very frustrating.
Yeah,
The guy's a machine.
yeah, he's been.
Yeah. But yeah, he does. He is like that in everything he does. It seems to be
Stocks, real estate,
investment, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a smart guy. Yeah. We've been waiting on his. We were waiting on his compliance to come through to get him on the show for so long that we just unscheduled.
Oh man.
Yeah, like the first we scheduled it like 3 weeks out, thinking that would be enough time, and then like 3 days before he was like, "So we got to push this," and then we moved it like 3 weeks out again, and then he called me like a couple days before, and he was like, "Man, I'm really sorry," and I was like, "I got an idea. Let's just not reschedule it. Why don't you just tell me when compliance says okay, and then we'll just put you on the books. Like we don't live that far away from each other. We can figure this out pretty easily." So what were you guys? How'd you guys find out about the Meet and Mingle?
We both know Kaylee.
Oh, okay, how do you know Kaylee?
Networking.
Yeah.
We go to a lot of the real estate meetups. So Pints and Properties is where I think we first met because Shane.
Pints and Properties.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you know Shane LaFleur?
I don't, but I already love the name. Yeah, Shane LaFleur sounds like a hockey player.
He was at the same Meet and Mingle, and I think they're cousins. Does that sound right?
Shane and Kaylee.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know.
So my buddy Tom, who was not there the other night, I met him at a Rockstar networking event in Durham.
Yeah.
And which was mostly for realtors, now that I think about it. And he just like, we had absolutely nothing to talk about because he's like a financial advisor who's been in the business for like 5 seconds.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't need another financial advisor.
Yeah.
But it was refreshing when he just like came up to me and was like, we don't have to talk about finance. What are you doing in your business? Like, what's
Right.
up? And I was just kind of like, yeah, I've been doing the same thing for 10 years and I failed to, get any new clients. And here I am 10 years later and we've like completed 10 houses, 10 years. We're done. We're not doing it anymore. And I don't have any other clients. And he was like, it sounds like you need a social media person. And I was like, well, I don't know, maybe. And he immediately was like, you need to call Kaylee, who is that person.
So good at it.
Yeah. So I don't doubt her skills. She's just like very much out of my price range when we had like a conversation and she laid out like how many times she would be posting for me and what she would end up doing and then how much it cost. And I was like, I'm not going to tell you what your worth is, but you're 3 times the price of the person I ended up hiring who's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So that was like strange, but also at the same time, she seems to be very successful because she's, running her own thing super young and then doing these super cool Meet and Mingle events, which like,
I mean, the idea of bringing that many people together.
Yeah, she's good at connecting people.
yeah. It must just be one of her natural kind of skill sets, I guess, because I have never been to. It's borderline overwhelming how popular it is. Because I go to some of the networking events and it's like 10, 12 people. Very easy to be like, okay, I brought 15 business cards.
Yep.
Like you're dealing out poker, and like if you're me, everybody needs a contractor, or
Right.
if you don't, you will. If you're you, everyone needs a realtor, or
Yep.
if you don't, they will.
Yep.
And I don't know about wedding painter. That's a niche,
Yeah.
more of a niche,
Yeah.
but yeah. But like still, you could just throw out all your cards. But like at the Meet and Mingle, it was like 60 people. I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't have the social battery, as
The
my
world's
friend
just your
Noah
oyster.
said.
Yeah.
It is, but I just like mentally, I was like, I am not prepared to like break in to a clique of 6 people and be like, hey, I don't know any of you. And then do that like 6 more times with all these little cliques of people. I was like,
Right.
I don't have the battery for this.
He's good at that.
You're good at that?
I don't know if I'm particularly good at it, but I'm willing to.
Yeah.
I'll go, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm at, but hi.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what I did with you two. I feel like
Yeah.
it was more just geography of how
Yes.
we walked in at the same point.
Yep. Just kind of stuck at the entrance, didn't get in.
I basically, it was too crowded. And then my videographer friend Noah came over and was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, the same thing you are, man. We're networking. Yeah. Did he ever hit you up about, because I know he's getting married and he wanted your card.
No, I don't think so. not
Okay.
You should
yet.
reach out to him then.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Yeah. And yeah, I was actually like, he probably wants to hire you like a one-off for his wedding, but
Yeah.
I kind of thought you two might be able to work something out where he could be the one filming you at a stranger's wedding that has nothing to do with his wedding, because he's
That'd
a
be really
like
cool.
genius video guy.
Mhm.
He's, you know, his equipment, his eye. He has like other subs who have drones. Like he did like 3 customer testimonials, and then he made a like a video business card. So like when I text you my link tree, that's like, this is who I
Yeah.
am. It has like all those videos right on the front, and he did all of that.
Nice.
Yeah, and he brought like this third dude with a drone who like filmed me and my guys 2 different days, building a carport, and then he like came and got the shot when it was all done and painted. It was pretty cool. Yeah. So he's pretty talented. Yeah. So I don't know. You guys got to link up and see if
Yeah.
that's like something.
I'll have to reach out.
Yes, you should.
Yeah.
You should do that.
Okay, so nothing to do with my podcast at all, but you're by far the first and only wedding painter I've even heard of, let alone met.
Yeah.
So I gotta know, you know, wherever you want to start, walk me through that. How does
Yeah.
one like decide they're gonna do that? Were you an art major in college? Do you just love painting? Did you find a secret skill late in life? Is this a lucrative thing? Is this just for fun? Like I need all that information.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just for fun, really.
No, it's not.
It's. I mean, it's a. It's
She's setting up a business.
I mean, it looked professional, minus your business card has no phone number, which was very confusing.
oh.
Yeah.
Guess I'll have to fix.
FYI, just on Instagram, I was like, okay, and I just kind of threw it away. I was like, wait a
Okay.
minute, you need a phone number.
Well,
I was like, I
that's good to know.
I need to save you at something,
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no affiliation with them at all, but I would look into Linktree because that's
Okay.
what I use, and it allows, like, I printed. It
Oh.
gives you a QR code, which I actually printed on the back of my business card, so I can just
Okay.
be like, here, scan that.
Oh, that's really solid.
And then it takes them to the link tree that looks super professional, and it's got, you can put as many links as you want. And I've got one that's like link to CRS on Google, link to CRS on Facebook, link to Instagram, link to the podcast, link to like my contact information. And if you click that, it takes you to this thing called Blink with a Q.
yeah. Yep. I've got
And
links.
that you can just hit the save button real quick, so you
Yep.
don't have to like type in everyone's number. So I'm trying to make it like as simple as possible, but at least a phone number on the next set of business cards. That
Okay.
would be.
Can you do that through Linktree? Like,
Put-
do they make their own business cards?
Not that I'm aware. I
Okay.
think they're very much like, we're digital, stay digital, no cards. I would recommend Vistaprint to y'all and anyone listening for sure. Super cheap. They do degrees of thickness, front or back printing. I don't know what else you need for business cards.
Yeah.
They even have like some preloaded logos. I put in my own logo, so you can do either. And then I even had like a sizing issue, and it was like, I immediately on their website was like instant messaging with somebody who works there, and I was like, hey, can you size this for me? And he was like, hit refresh, and it was done.
Oh,
So
really solid.
so
Who'd you use,
that was cool.
Ashley?
What was that?
Who did you use?
Canva.
Canva, yeah. I mean, they're equally as reputable. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think like one's better than the other. I know that Canva. Okay, so maybe I'm confusing Canva with something else, but I thought Canva was more like the AI that helped you design the logos, but couldn't do any of the printing stuff.
Well, they do the printing.
Oh,
I
okay.
designed my own logo.
Okay.
But yeah.
So
Printing too.
they'll like set it up, and then you can be like, cool, send me a box of 500.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, those
Yeah.
are actually Vistaprint. Those 3 boxes right there. Yeah, those
Okay.
are my spares because
Nice.
it's cheap when you order like 2,000 at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a ton.
But I started going to networking events not even a year ago, and
Yep.
I ran out of cards.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had to go through all of my winter jackets and get all of the packs of cards because I keep like 10
right.
in every jacket.
Yep.
And I was like, I got to empty every coat. I was out of cards.
Yeah.
And then I was like, shit, I got to order more. And then when I ordered more, I was like, all right, time to go double-sided. That's when I put the
Okay.
QR code on
Yep.
there. Because originally I had no QR. The back was blank.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I love the QR code. If I can
Yeah.
just do that and scan,
Oh, yeah.
all day.
Yeah, and especially a QR code that'll take you very quickly to something you can then hit save.
Yep.
Because the Linktree, there's nothing to save.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I wish that like Linktree would buy Blink, and they would just morph.
That's an idea. Take
But-
it to him.
Take it to okay. I'll take it to Mr. Tree. Yeah. But yeah, that seems to just like, you know, when I go to one of those meet and mingles and I come home with a stack of business cards, I usually kind of type out a really good like paragraph text message, and then I'll just cut and paste that to like, I'll program a card into my contacts, old school, like dial it in, you
Yep.
know, then copy and paste that text, change the first name, and then immediately send them a link to the Linktree and a link to the Blink so
Smart.
that they could just like save me, check out my work, and I've just like made the connection. And sometimes I get no replies. Sometimes I get like immediate, let's get a coffee. This was pretty immediate. We're already doing a podcast. So
Yeah.
like they respond in variations of like, you know, I guess people are busy. They're doing their own thing.
They are.
Yeah.
But I mean, the follow up, if you don't do that follow up, especially in an inconvenient way, like if you do it conveniently, reaching out, setting stuff up, if it's inconvenient, no one's going to do it.
Oh, true. Also, why did I go to the networking event?
Yeah.
And even
Exactly.
bother
Exactly.
like expelling carbon dioxide talking to somebody if I wasn't going to get their card and then follow up and be like, hey, we both wasted our Monday night at that brewery. Let's at least try to make money with each other or
That's right.
something. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so that was a crazy tangent about your business card needing a phone number. But
Questions are super helpful, by the way.
what's that?
Questions, like helping keep things rolling for her.
Oh, well, there. Okay.
Because
Questions.
she's not going to give you all of it at once.
We're gonna get no info unless we pry. Is
Yeah,
what you're saying?
that's
Okay.
exactly what I'm saying.
I've got
Lovingly.
multiple crowbars. I'm a contractor. Let's go. Okay, so metaphorical crowbar number 2. Did you go to college and study something artistic related?
I did apparel design and merchandising.
Okay, so more clothing.
Mhm.
Okay, and what was the? That has nothing to do with painting. So where's the shift come?
Well, so I do graphic design for my like day job.
Okay, so
and-
there is a day job.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That was definitely question number 46 that was
Yeah.
needed to be answered. Like there's a real, I don't mean this in a rude way, but like there's a real career with like
Yes.
money and possibly
Yes.
benefits and
Yeah.
like a continued paycheck.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
used
cool.
my apparel design degree.
Okay, so what's the day job?
So I work for a company called Track Barn. So I design custom track apparel for colleges, high schools, clubs.
And for someone who's drastically looks like me, track is like running.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was like, let's just be honest. I'm not a track athlete. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. So you do graphic design for track apparel for high schools and stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. And so I mean, obviously there's a little relation because it's like still artist stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a huge umbrella of artwork that even
Yeah.
like me building a deck somehow fits under.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really in that umbrella. Like
Art?
real estate and art are not.
No,
Yeah.
I don't have an artistic bone in my body.
That's
no.
that's the other side. Okay. So did you just always like to paint?
Yeah, pretty much. I've always.
If this studio dog is annoying,
Oh,
just push him
no,
away.
he's all
Willie
good.
Bear's being very needy because it's almost dinner time.
It's just something I've always enjoyed to do in my free time, and I started painting portraits. I did a portrait for one of my friends as a wedding gift, and then
Yep.
kind of from there, I really enjoyed that, and I practiced more with portraits, and I did my first live wedding painting this past October, and it was a lot of fun, and just figured it'd be a lot of fun if I could make that.
So was your first one was a year ago or a month ago?
A month ago.
A month
yes.
ago. Okay, so how does that come about? Like, does a friend of yours that you're already invited to the wedding is like, hey, do you want to give this a shot?
So it was an old friend from college that I knew she was getting married. We lost touch a little bit, but I knew she was getting married, and I reached out to see if that's something that she would like to have at her wedding, and we talked about all the details, and she invited me to do the painting, and it went really well, and I sent it off this past Friday. Actually, I mailed the finished product, or the finished piece, to her, and yeah, I think everything went really well.
So I think you explained it a little bit to me at the Meet and Mingle. So it's like you kind of have a discussion with the bride and groom of like the various best locations. Like obviously the altar is a good spot, or you know, the first like entry to the reception, or just like opposed under a tree or something like that. So it's like, okay, you pick a spot and then you kind of do like almost like a pre-painting, kind of like without them, where you get like the background kind of taken care of. Possibly you like pencil them in just for like location. And then you actually are like, you're sitting there during like the vows to the left painting.
So I'm a little ways back. So typically, like I would be behind where everyone else is sitting.
But I just mean like you're at the service.
Yes. Yeah,
you're
I'm
like
at the
there.
service. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So for this particular wedding, I guess we only have the one to talk about.
Yes.
Really? Okay. Were you invited before you were going to do this painting?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Okay. Did you get to go to this wedding?
I was there. So this was South Carolina. We drove down. I helped get everything out for her. And then I don't remember what I did, but I was not at the wedding. No.
Okay. So you got no cake
just
is really my
helped me.
question.
No cake for me.
No cake.
She got cake.
You
And
got
dinner.
cake. Okay.
Yeah.
And got to charge them for a painting. No.
Yeah.
So what's this cost? What did you charge your friend or acquaintance, whatever, for like the whole kit and caboodle?
So I did 50% off of my, like what I planned to charge, I guess. So 500.
Okay.
flat
So you
for
plan to
everything.
charge 1,000 for a
my
wedding painting?
smallest package, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
And how many sizes do you have?
I have 3 different sizes.
okay. So how big was the small one you did?
An 18 by 24.
Oh, that's not small for okay.
Yeah.
So how
it's still-
big? What's the biggest? Like 4x3?
It's 30 by 36.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean that's like 3 by
pretty-
2.5.
pretty large,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty large.
Yeah.
And then do you get like the whole thing framed and send it to them, or do you like you can like here you go without the frame, have fun with it?
So it's on. It's a pretty thick canvas, so
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily need a frame.
Okay.
But I've done cut like frames before for portraits, so it's not out of the question.
Yeah. I'm just curious because like my mom's a painter, and sometimes she'll like be very adamant. She'll give me something and be like, "This needs to be framed."
Yeah.
And I'll be like, "Okay." And then other times she'll give me something and she'll be like, "You cannot frame this. I painted the edges on purpose. Like this is not to be framed." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "I don't care. I love it all. Like it's all good." Like I'll show you it's not in here. It's in the living room. But my mom did a portrait of Willie, my dog, and it's just like amazing. Yeah. She always sees it and is like, I need to change the eyes. And I'm like, no, you can't change it. It's mine. You gave it to me. It's done. It's the portrait of the bear. Like, it's like she did that little sketch of my other dog, Dodger. And she, of course, she was like, that has to be framed, and got it framed and blah, blah, blah. But like, you know, she does oil paints, mostly like landscape, seascape type of thing, and like really amazing flowers. Okay. That's her jam. Yeah. She retired from her, like, you know, regular pre-job, whatever you want to call it, and now paints basically full time. Okay. And she's got so good at it, and so many, that she has like some in a gallery where we live in New York. It's pretty cool. Yeah. But I could never paint. I'm like decent with like a sketchbook. There's a pile of sketchbooks right there. Yep. But painting for me was always like, I could never get the right shade of whatever I wanted. And then the concept of like, well, you just have to mix your own paint. I was like, no. It's coming out of the tube, the color I want.
She does all the mixing.
That's because she's an artist.
3 colors.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's called being an artist. We're not there. Yeah. Yeah. I've got half of it. Like, I can make a deck go poof, and it's just there. Right. I can do that part. Yeah. But it's not as sexy as a painting. Plus, like, you can't take a deck with you. You could just take a painting.
That's true.
Yeah. Like, you can't take a deck. It's not going anywhere. Especially if I built it. It's like, it's bolted in and it's cement. Like, you can't have it. Yeah.
Her dad's a general contractor.
Okay. So you know all about it.
Yeah. He actually just built a deck in their backyard.
Yeah, screened
Love to
porch.
see. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
So, okay, where are they?
Holly Springs.
Okay. So you guys have a family contractor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's nice to have someone in the family.
Why are you laughing? Yeah.
I don't know. It's just nice to have someone around that can do that stuff.
I was going to say, do you guys own a house?
Not yet, but we really want to.
Well,
I really want to.
When you get one, the realtor really wants to own a house. I'm shocked.
Weird.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm sure when you get one, you'll need Dad to come and do the hookup discount.
That's right.
On a new deck.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
If he doesn't give you the hookup discount, I'm happy to build a better deck. Okay, so did we cover everything in the wedding painter?
If you need a live wedding painter.
Oh, yeah. How would anybody listening reach out? Because you don't have a freaking phone number. So how would anybody find you if they want a wedding painted portrait? Wedding portrait? What are we calling it?
A live wedding painting.
Live wedding painting. Okay.
Either my email is ashleyrobertsart@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram. It's ashleyrobertsart.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. All right. All about the gram.
I think it's ashleyroberts.art, actually.
Dot art.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dot art.
The dot's probably important.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Because there's probably a lot of Ashley Roberts art.
Yeah.
I would imagine so.
And, the AI's already copied you. So, like, there's probably 3 of them. Okay. I was just at a mastermind in Raleigh, and it was all about AI. And it was very frustrating because it was an hour and, like, 25 minutes of them going over, like, different AI generator platforms. And almost all of them was for shit I already have. They were like, this is a great one if you need a logo. And I was like, we all have, like, companies. We all have logos. Who needs a logo?
Yeah.
We're still doing a logo?
What was your good takeaway?
I was like, this one could help you, like, design a website. I was like, if you don't have a website already, you probably don't want one. Like me. Like, right. What are we doing here? This needs to be better. Also, I don't want to shout her out because, A, I'm trying to keep it positive, and B, I don't freaking remember her name.
Great.
But the worst PowerPoint, like, skills I've ever, like, that was drilled into me in college because almost all of my high-level college classes were group projects that ended in, like, a huge paper submittal as a group and a giant PowerPoint presentation to the rest of the class. And we would get, like, so scrutinized if you just read your PowerPoint.
Right. Yep.
And I like that's what you do. You read your PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So you're terrible at PowerPoint presentations. Like, with all due respect, like that's exactly the opposite of what you're supposed to do. Guess what? Everyone else can read the PowerPoint. We don't need you to read it to us.
That's right.
Yeah, but even worse than that, put a bunch of giant paragraphs that are too small for anybody to read, and then just point at them and reference them.
Or read it verbatim.
Or read
the
it
entire
verbatim.
paragraph.
I got both of those today.
Good.
It was awful. And every other line was a giggle and nothing was funny. So I was like, this person should not be giving PowerPoint presentations. You should not be doing it. And then it was even funnier because it kept being like all these like technical difficulties. And I was like, you're giving a presentation on AI at a mastermind event. Like you should have rehearsed this. This should have been really flawless. Should have been better. Just should have been better. And I was sitting there after 40 minutes just like texting people like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I could have just given my cards out in the beginning and then just left.
Yeah.
Like, this was useless. But
you had to have gotten some good out of it.
We'll see if any of the people I got business cards from become anything good. But honestly, I don't know if I did. Oh, Willie, what are you doing? Get down. Yeah, I don't really know. Like I got told about an AI platform that will make you a logo. Got that. Yep. Make you a website. Don't want that. Will take your hundreds of cold call phone numbers and do it with like a robot voice that doesn't sound like a robot. Don't need that. I don't cold call. Or AI that will you download it for your Zoom calls so that when you're looking to the right at your notes, everybody sees your eyes still looking straight. And I was like, I don't need that. I'll just look to the right and look at my notes and keep being a person on the Zoom. So I look like a person on the Zoom instead of a robot. And then it was like another one that would do, there were a few other ones. And it was just like one after another. I was like, I just don't need any of these services. And then at the ones that I didn't need, but piqued the most interest. Oh, the other one was like clearly just cheating.
Great.
Like
what was this?
Like one of them was like you put in like the most minimal basic of information and it'll just like write stuff for you that you should have already written, that you should be like writing yourself. And I was like
ChatGPT?
Basically like a lot of these were plugins for ChatGPT.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
Got it.
Yeah. So there was a lot of ChatGPT mentioned, but it was just like, this one dude sitting next to me was like, oh man, that would be super interesting. I could just take like the PowerPoint I use for this class I teach and give it to this AI and it'll turn it into a book. And I was like, well, then you didn't write the book.
That's right. Yeah.
I was like, I didn't want to yell it because everybody in that room was like really into this. And in the back of my head, very like loudly, I was like, that's not you writing a book. That's you submitting a PowerPoint to ChatGPT and ChatGPT wrote you a book.
I do like it as a tool. I like using it, not when I'm being lazy, but when I have like an amalgamation of thoughts, putting all of it in and say, hey, help me clean this up.
Okay, so give me some examples of like some times you're using. And what are you using? Are you using ChatGPT 4?
The free one.
Okay, I don't personally, I don't use any of them, but like,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, fair enough. So like, do you have like a real life example of what you just said?
Yeah, actually, because you gave me a little time there, that helped. I also do some track coaching on the side. I've been competing in track and field for 17 years. I'm
sensing that may have been how somebody met somebody.
Yeah, had a connection. She had the art skills and stuff. Just made an introduction. So I've got this kid that I coach, and he wants to go to college. Go figure. But it asked if I would write him a letter of recommendation. So I put a whole bunch of stuff into the text into the chat box. So all of it was me. And I said, hey, turn this into a more cohesive product. It spit it out, and I do not like how a lot of it sounds when ChatGPT gives stuff out. Like, you lose your voice, I think. So taking the more organized, I think, version of what it spat out to me, going through and then changing it back to my voice, I think it just helps with the outline.
I mean, I think in the description that you gave, that is very much a tool.
Right, because I go back through
Yeah.
and make it mine again.
I think where, at least in the like short kind of meeting where this was all thrown on us,
Yep.
and the example I gave about like the dude who uses a PowerPoint to teach a class and just like turning into a book, I don't think he's going back through it. Like, I think he's just gonna be like, here's a PowerPoint, and it's just gonna spit it out into a book, and then he's gonna be like, cool, publish, like Amazon, dollars.
Yeah, see, I'm not into that.
Yeah, see, that's where
Because then it can put information in there that's not correct.
for sure, and also, like, you know what?
You lose examples.
Yeah, but like hypothetically, like, you know, what does the AI do with a typo?
Yeah.
Like, does it just know it's a typo, or does it assume that all of a sudden you're talking about something in another language because it assumed you like typed it correctly?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know how smart it is. Obviously, it's insanely smart because there's entire like film studios going to like war over like the use of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I kind of am like, just as such a crazy fan of like movies and TV and all that. Like, I'm just like, okay, I don't really know if I want like AI to be the thing that we like now have producing all of our content, because I don't think, like, if nobody cared, it would have probably gotten there very quickly. Like, if it wasn't for the strikes that like most recently had happened, I feel like very, very quickly studios would be like, yeah, tell ChatGPT we need Batman 7 and feed it Batman 1 through 6 and tell it to make it darker, and it'll just spit something out in 5 seconds, and it'll be like, the most logical actor for you to hire based on like trends and blah 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 will be this actor. And it's like, dude, is that how we want movies to be made, or do we want, like, you know, somebody to take a swing on something that they really came up with in a dream or on a crazy mushroom trip, or like, I don't know how Quentin Tarantino comes up with his stuff, but I want him to keep doing it. That's all I know. Yeah. I don't want to have ChatGPT be like, make a movie in the style of Tarantino.
Yeah, I feel like it would be inauthentic. I just don't think that it's good enough yet.
Yeah, okay, so let's pretend it's good enough. Like, if we wake up tomorrow and it's like 15 years from now.
Yeah, okay.
And it's good enough. Do you want it? Would you care?
I don't know if I would care.
I saw where Andrew Huberman
I love Andrew Huberman.
Yeah,
big fan.
He posted where he had to post like a disclaimer because somebody had used one of his videos and made an AI of him promoting a product that he doesn't.
Oh
no!
I heard about this because he talked about it on Rogan, and he was talking. He's talking. I love Huberman though. Yeah. He's the man. Yeah. He's the reason I built the cold plunge. Like 100%. That's like awesome. This guy is like this neuroscience. Yeah, I want this guy. I want to listen to him. Very smart.
She started taking magnesium 3-8.
There you go.
Literally yesterday.
Because of Andrew Huberman.
And the fact that you can't sleep.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. Have you heard of the Fire Within podcast?
No.
Okay, so Brandon Woolley, he did my show, I did his show. He's in Apex, but he's a personal trainer, nutritionist, runs the Fire Within podcast. That's all about that kind of stuff. And the reason that I've gone to him for help and recommend him like 125% is because he was like a 300-pound diabetic and is now like thin, fit, not diabetic.
Good for him.
And has kept it off for like 10 years. Wow. And is like, all he does is research and help people. And he just like the breakdown of, I'm not even like intelligent enough to really like to express it, but like the breakdown that he does of why you should take what you should take and the scientific reasons behind it, it's just so refreshing to really just have like a better understanding. I've been using his podcast as like, I'll listen to it for a walk because they're like 25 minute, 35 minute. I'll be like, cool, I'll just get one of these out, like boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, you need to make more content. I'm running through these too quickly. Yeah. But yeah, he has a lot of sleep recommendations.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, from like taking Epsom salt baths like an hour or 30 minutes before bed because the Epsom salt helps like relax your muscles, something like that. Also, we all know this, but nobody can actually do it. Stop looking at screens an hour before you go to bed because, like, I'm falling asleep to the TV on sleep timer. Like, I can't not do it.
It's hard.
And then making your house like 2 to 4 degrees colder when you want to go to bed helps
we
you
love
sleep
that.
better.
We
Yeah.
definitely pop it down.
Yeah.
If
at
I
night.
could turn it down to 60 every night, I would.
No.
Yeah. That's too cold for you?
Yeah.
No. And then like your lighting is also something that he talks about where you're getting like a salt lamp, I think it's what it's called, which kind of mimics, I think the idea is that it mimics like the light we would get from a fire, more like the light we would see in nature, because we're kind of like programmed to go, up and down with the sun.
Yep.
So like that, the only light after the sun should be a fireplace, not like this LED screen that we don't even perceive the LEDs are blinking super fast. And that's just like tiring out our retinas insanely much.
We do okay. We turn screens off for the most part, do tea and lamps only, like a nice yellow
Oh, wow.
light
Okay, so you're already
instead of
doing that. What
trying.
kind of tea? Sleepy time?
sleepy
Yeah.
time tea.
Yeah.
I-
You do this too?
I am more into the what do I like? Honey.
Honey chamomile.
Yeah,
Chamomile. Nice.
honey chamomile. That's more my vibe. But
Do you have the same sleep problems?
no, she hates it. It's
You hate
hilarious.
that
Yeah.
that he doesn't have the sleep problem.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
I'm laying there awake and he's just out. I'm like,
Immediately.
well, I'm bored.
Oh man. Okay.
And I make it even worse. So
You should try a lot of edibles. That'll knock you right out.
I don't think she would have fun with that.
I didn't say they'd be fun. I said they'd knock your ass out. Yeah, this is not. This is about getting them REM cycles. Like
That's
priorities.
Right. Doesn't
Yeah.
THC mess with REM cycles though?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
But-
I feel like Huberman said that.
But to be based on the more than average research I've done on THC,
Yeah.
I would say you have no effects. Yeah.
Okay.
But also, I'm not a scientist. I build stuff.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
Definitely.
DM Huberman, he'll let you know exactly what's up. But also, it's you got to weigh it.
Yeah.
Like I
Right.
don't know. Based on what I know, which again, like this is not a medical show, and even if it was, I'm not a doctor. So, but like based on what I know, I would rather get some THC assisted sleep than not enough sleep.
Okay.
Even if the THC might have like a tiny bit of a negative thing, like
Sure.
a lot of okay sleep is still better than like, okay, I stared at the ceiling while like
That's
my
me.
husband was farting and snoring, and like I didn't turn the TV on because we're trying to do our thing.
Yeah.
And I could only read so many chapters of this stupid book, and now it's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So like,
that's sure.
That's me.
right, that's what I'm saying. So like, what's
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know what I mean? So it's like personally over that, I would be like, give me some edibles at 8 o'clock at night, and
Yep.
by 9:15, I'll be out on the couch.
There you
Like,
go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can't relate. Sleeping is not an issue I've got.
Yeah.
My girlfriend has to take stay asleep pills. I don't know what they are. They don't help her get to sleep apparently, but they help her stay asleep.
Okay.
And I don't know about any of that. All I know is caffeine does have a 50% half-life. So if
Yeah.
you drink a lot of coffee, that might be
Cut it off
something
at 12
to-
o'clock.
I just cut it out.
Can't do that. Not allowed.
I've
Nope.
thought about
You can't
it.
do that.
I
No
just-
shot.
I
You
really-
mean
love
the
caffeine.
willpower is not there for no caffeine.
Desire.
Desire. Okay.
Desire's not there. I love caffeine.
Fair enough.
I
loved it too. I still do. I would say I still am in love with caffeine, but I was drinking, plus I make a dirty chai. So it's like espresso's got a lot of caffeine and then
Mhm.
chai's black tea with caffeine.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, that's cool at 8 a.m, but
Mhm.
4 p.m, like
no.
not a good
Well,
move.
Well, that's the issue. You just have to cut it out earlier. You just got to be done.
I mean, yeah, I don't know why, but to me, it was easier to go all or nothing and just cut it
Okay.
rather than be like, oh, it's 12:01. I missed my
did, though.
my shot.
It's still black and white. or at least it is for me.
No, I agree that it's black and white, but it's easier for me to just be in this particular instance. It's easier to go all the way to the extreme.
Okay.
Of just like, okay, let's cut it out. I had some like personal stuff happen with a family member who has like a heart issue, and I was like, okay, maybe I should take better care of myself in general.
Sure.
So I started like doing that and listening to Brandon's podcast, who I mentioned, and learning about the half-life of caffeine that I didn't know about. And I was like, shit, so when I'm having caffeine at like 4 in the afternoon, or like I remember having coffee once at 7 o'clock at night before a comedy show.
Okay.
I was like, this is not smart. But I didn't want to drink alcohol. And that night I was just staring at the ceiling like, whoo, wide awake here. Like, oh, and then I realized, oh yeah, you had a coffee at 6 and a coffee at 7. And it's 11 o'clock at night and you're wide awake. No shit. Like, yeah. But yeah, so I just went cold turkey to see if I could do it.
Yeah.
I figured it's been like 3 weeks now, so I know I can. But I know that like that first cup of coffee is going to be just like a transcendental experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole new world.
It's going to be incredible. I can't wait for that carpet ride. Yeah. It's going to be, sorry, you said a whole different
Yeah. No.
I could not. Yeah.
I'm glad you did.
Do you know Andrew? Thank you. Do you know Andrew Schultz, the comedian?
I don't know the name offhand.
No? Okay. He has a joke about the magic carpet ride, and it just always makes me laugh. He's one of those like
comedians do that, I guess.
Well, yeah, obviously. Thank you. Touché, sir. You got me there. Yep. We'll just leave that one. We'll leave that one and move on. So real estate.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did you get into real estate?
So I grew up, my parents own a martial arts school, and why is that relevant? There was a thing called Gold Team, so guidance on leadership development. You go through a whole bunch of books that are just general leadership development stuff. Real estate ends up in there a decent bit just because there are a lot of people who do really well in real estate and then they become leaders. So
yeah, it seems like most of those, like, I can't name them off the top of my head, but it seems like most of those guys that have a book that's like, this is how I made all this family wealth, is usually by buying some land.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's only so much of it, right?
Yeah, we're not making anymore.
Yeah.
So
I've been influenced by it for a long time. Got my license in 21, so a little bit, year and a half. Is that right? 22? I don't remember. It's been like a year and a half.
What were you doing before you got into real estate?
Coaching. So I was doing more coaching. I got my degree in exercise science.
Okay.
Did some coaching in Miami. Worked with some NFL and MLB guys.
As their like personal trainer?
Not personal trainer, but yeah, training them. So I was one step below like their personal trainers.
Give me some baseball players. I love baseball.
You know, I hate baseball.
Oh, you're killing me.
Miggy
Cabrera?
Yeah.
Really?
I never worked directly with him, but yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
You have a baseball shirt on.
You're literally wearing a Marlins shirt.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's from when I was in Miami, and I guess
it makes more sense now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy should have a Yankee shirt in this house, but
I
let it slide.
no love. I like the colors.
They are good colors. Yeah. Anything with orange is good. Okay. Well, give me the most famous person you can remember that you worked with. Would it be a football player?
Football player. There was Udonis Haslem he played for the Heat, Miami Heat, for a long time. He's probably the most famous basketball player.
So if you're not his trainer, but you're the guy below the trainer,
around.
What do you do?
Be around, grab stuff, change weights.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's the main dude who's like, all right, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
and you're and like in between sets, you're the one putting on the 5s for
I'm the
set
quiet
2.
guy that you're just there.
Because that other guy can't do it.
I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Because like all the trainers I've had, they don't have an assistant.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But they're not. I don't
levels.
have pro athlete money. So yeah. Okay. Are you employed by them or the teams?
All personal stuff. So the place is called Bomberedo Performance Systems. That's where I was at. They do all sorts of stuff, but no, that's right when I got out of school. Went straight down there. Was definitely just kind of working up the totem pole and was like, this kind of sucks, because I would get there at 5, I think, every morning. I wouldn't leave until around 7 at night, and not getting paid like hardly at all. Certainly not worth the amount of time and effort going into it. So said, this isn't for me. Moved up, did some car sales, did some like high school track coaching, then moved here for a training group. So I was still training for track and field, still am. So the group that's here is what brought me to North Carolina. When I got here, I was coaching, then licensed. Yeah.
So track and field is just running, other than like squats and then physically running. What other training would you do?
There's a lot of running, lots of lifting, just upper body, lower body, all of it.
But like, why?
Olympic lifting.
Why am I doing shoulder raises if we're hurdling?
Just staying strong all the way through your body.
Okay.
Force development generally is going to be kind of the game. So the better you are at producing force.
I mean, I train my whole body.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
I just meant like, if I was thinking maybe if like you're that much in a single discipline that you're like, okay, I don't really need to like train this particular muscle. Let's get faster.
So
I don't know.
I do the decathlon, so that's going to be 10 events.
Okay.
It's going to be throws, jumps, sprints, and one longer event, the 1,500 meter run, so just under a mile. Most of it is more in that speed power range, though.
Okay. This is all in one day?
2. So you've got 5 events each day, day 1, day 2. So you got 100 meters, long jump, shot put, high jump, 400 meters. Second day, you come back, do 110 meter hurdles, discus, pole vault, javelin, 1,500 meters.
Okay, so why?
Why do I do it?
No, why does anybody do those things?
I don't know. It's the decathlon.
No, but like why?
Somebody came up with it. I mean, I think you get crowned the best athlete in the world if you're the world champion in it.
Huh.
I mean, it's every discipline, right? You have to be strong, fast, incredibly coordinated, right? Because if you're going to vault 15 feet, 16 feet in the air.
But are these just like all the athletes that didn't make it at the sports that would have made them money? So they were like, let me just go do this anyway? Like, does somebody wake up and they're like, I want to be a decathlon?
It's usually a track athlete that just finds their way into it.
Is there big money in this?
No,
Oh.
not at all.
I guess that's more back to my why.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm not.
Because you love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Fair,
That's
fair
all.
enough. Yeah. Touche.
Yeah.
Touche. Yeah. Like I lift weights because I love it, but I would never like go to a competition and like lift weights with other people
Yeah, but someone
trying
would.
to compete. Yeah, I guess somebody would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I only see them at the Olympics though. I don't see them like in everyday life.
Sure.
Nor have I met someone who trains those people who do that. Like so these like you said these are high school kids. So are they trying
No.
to
So, I mean, there are high school kids that do it. It's less frequent. Like, it gets more prevalent in college.
Okay. So are you training like these college athletes who are like attempting to go to the Olympics? Is that kind of an end goal?
So
Or are they
that's what I do. The kids that I train are generally going to be just sprinters.
okay.
Yeah. Sorry if that was unclear.
And they're just
High school athletes. Some
high
of them
school
are.
athletes.
I've got a kid who's at NC State now, got a scholarship.
Right. Okay. So there is an end goal, like a high school athlete's trying to get a scholarship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that more answers the question. I was just like,
got it.
I was like, it can't be cheap to have a trainer for any discipline.
Yeah.
So like, you don't do it for free. You don't do
No.
it for fun. So I mean, you might do it for fun, but
Well,
you don't do it for free.
Right.
So I'm just like in my head, I'm like somebody's paying somebody for an end result. Like what's the end result look like? So a high school kid trying to get a nice scholarship to school, that's an amazing result.
Yeah. Some of the people here just have the money to do it though. Like some
fair enough.
Some people are like, "Oh, you don't even want to do this in college." But
yeah, see, that's where I'm confused.
Yeah. I don't know. Because their parents want them to.
Fair enough. Yeah. I guess
I'm happy to do it.
I'm sure you are happy to do it. Yeah.
Well, not even just like because I think it's good for you, not just the money of it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think any like physical discipline is very good for the mind.
Yes.
And that I think that's probably not talked about enough, because you think about, a lot of people, they'll go to the gym, and if you actually like ask somebody like, oh, what's your goal at the gym? It's usually something like vanity related. Like, I'm trying to lose weight really fast for some event, or I'm trying to like, a guy might be like, oh, I'm trying to get a bigger bicep or a bigger shoulder or whatever. Whereas like you rarely hear the dude in the gym and they're like, oh, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I just need the endorphins. Like, I just know this is incredible for my psyche, and if I don't work out, I'm a dick.
Yeah.
Like, that should be the first
like
goal.
Good for your heart.
Yeah, no, of course. Good for all the things. Yeah, cardiovascular system. Like, of course. Yeah, no, it's good to go sweat out some toxins. Like, the lymphatic system doesn't work unless you physically move.
That's right.
People don't even know what that is.
Right.
I learned about that on Brandon's podcast only a month ago. I had no idea what the lymphatic system was. Yeah. I also had no idea what amyloid plaque was in the brain. And apparently, when you eat a lot of sugar, like I used to do, and you used to stay up late, like I used to do, you're just not cleaning your brain, and you're just giving yourself Alzheimer's. And I was like, oh shit, cool. Yeah. I'm just giving myself Alzheimer's 4 nights a week. No big deal. Yeah. Have you ever heard of GoPuff?
No, I don't know what GoPuff is.
Well, you guys are clearly like thin and healthy, better humans than me. But like GoPuff is, like DoorDash is.
Yeah.
Okay. So imagine DoorDash, but instead of person A goes to restaurant B and then goes to your house, person A just goes to a warehouse and collects you candy and chips and then drives it to your house. And then they go back to the same warehouse and get another bag of candy and chips for the next person.
That seems like a bad idea.
It's the worst. I mean, from a capitalist perspective, genius.
Yeah, whoever did that.
From a health perspective, like, in 18 minutes, I can have 2,800 calories of all fake processed sugar garbage with no like good value and just all the terrible caloric intake and ice cream in 18 minutes and 11 o'clock at night when I should have been in bed 45 minutes ago.
Right.
And for some reason,
With
I
salt lamp.
think it's a good move. Yeah, I need to get a salt lamp. Actually, I should do that.
Is this something you use?
I don't have one.
Okay.
But I would,
Good.
maybe.
No,
Yeah,
maybe you shouldn't.
I shouldn't get the salt lamp?
Are you supposed to sleep with the salt lamp on?
Sorry, I thought you meant
Wait,
GoPuff.
what are we talking about?
Yeah, I thought we were going to GoPuff.
Oh, no.
I was saying that.
I'm a former, this is like GoPuff recovery hour right now.
Okay.
I'm a former GoPuff user.
Got it.
Hard.
Delete.
I did. I deleted
Good.
it.
Good.
Yeah. I had a folder on my phone that just was called food.
Okay.
And it had Uber Eats, DoorDash, GoPuff, and the Chick-fil-A app. And when I got back from Egypt and almost lost my dad because of some heart shit,
Ugh.
I just deleted all of them. I was
That
like,
was a
these
good
need to
decision.
go.
Yeah.
This is not good. And the back of my head was like, but you have so many Chick-fil-A points. I was like, no, just got to go. I don't need that brownie.
That's right. That's right.
I even planned, I would go like, there's Chick-fil-A around the corner from like my shrink's office. So I would joke and be like, well, if I have a really good session, I'm rewarding myself with Chick-fil-A. If I have a really bad session, I'm consoling myself with Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, there you go.
Terrible.
But can't.
Terrible idea. Yeah. I'm like, luckily the last 2 times I went there, I didn't get any Chick-fil-A, but
Good.
like, I was literally the reason I picked his office, way back when I found him. It's not even a joke. It's tragedy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
tragedy.
I won't condemn all that stuff. Like
You
can have
100% should condemn GoPuff.
Sure, yeah, but like the foods, you can have them sparingly, and you're going to be all right. Like I think black and white's easier most of the time, but
There are some things that should just be black and white. I get what you're trying to say. Like, okay, go out with your friends once a month to the thing and get the nachos. Like,
That's
you'll be
12
fine.
times a year.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
Yeah,
but like, you know, you should definitely not be eating any amount of processed, like, I'm talking just garbage. I mean, like, gummy worms and pop chips and cookies and soda and ice cream and 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally agree
that's
with you.
that's easy
Hard
black
stop.
and white.
Yeah.
Just no. Like, if you're going to do that, it needs to at least be at noon once a year. Like, you can't do that 4 nights a week.
No, that's
at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that'll lead to us.
Yeah. Even if you
cardiac
don't
events.
have fitness goals, like, that's just not a good look.
Right.
It's not a good move. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I did the sugar cut cold turkey,
Okay.
and I did that at the same time as the caffeine cut cold
That
turkey.
had to be miserable.
And I didn't know till I was 4 days in
Mhm.
that sugar is 10 times more addictive in test rats than cocaine,
Yeah.
and will give you flu-like symptoms when you're withdrawing from it. So I was so sick, I thought I had COVID again.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I had a meeting with Brandon where he was like, nope, sounds like you have a sugar sounds like you're getting rid of sugar. I was like, yeah, how'd you know? He's like, because you look like somebody who's detoxing from sugar.
Oh no.
And I was like, well, I just happened to kick sugar and caffeine 4 days ago. And he's like, you don't have COVID. You have sugar withdrawal.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was that bad.
So what are you doing? You said no sugar.
Yeah.
What's that look like for you?
What do you
No
mean, what's that
processed
look like?
sugar, no
Yeah,
carbohydrates.
no processed sugar. Like, I'm still eating blueberries, you know.
I
like,
think that's the
plenty of sugar in
that's the key.
blueberries.
I
And,
think
like, you
if
know,
people could get there, it would be perfect. Cut the bad fake sugar, eat fruits. Oh my goodness, we could get so much better so fast.
yeah, I've learned a nice easy trick is, like, obviously you're gonna need 1 or 2 things for, like, a sauce or a seasoning or whatever.
Mhm.
But for the most part, shop the outside of the grocery store
Okay.
seems to be like the move, because that's where all, like, they keep all the produce on the outside, all the meat on the outside.
Yep.
If you need, like, bread's usually an outside aisle, and then, like, your cheese, your eggs. I mean, I've cut out all dairy, but, like, that's usually on a fridge on the outside. And then if you think about all those inside aisles, it's just all the processed garbage. Like, there's nothing in the chip, cracker, candy. Like, all that aisle is trash. Like, I would never do a canned vegetable over an organic, like, regular one. Skip that aisle's trash. So you just start realizing, like, oh, I don't need any of this except for, like, that once in a blue moon item, you know. Like, I go inside those middle aisles to get, like, my teriyaki marinade.
Yeah.
But, like, other than that, really, that was a good thing for me to learn, and that really helped a lot. Yeah, I do a lot of, like, so I'll meal prep chicken. I'll grill, like, the whole Costco packet at once,
Love it.
and then I'll do you saw the meal prepped salads on the table, so I'll do that. And I figure out how to make them last. You just have to dry everything, like, aggressively.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have, like, 40 rags over the island, and I'll just chop everything and lay it all out, and then let it dry for, like, 4 or 5 hours, and then pack it all up, and it lasts. I haven't had anything go wrong.
Nice.
And then that sometimes is lunch and dinner. And then there's still sugar, like my morning shake, frozen berries.
Okay.
You know, there's sugar in all those berries, but it's like a natural sugar. Like,
Yes.
Like, I'm sure I could, but it would be too miserable to actually cut, like, all the sugar. And also, like, I'm not a bodybuilder trying to get to 0.03 Ronnie Coleman body fat.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just trying to, like, put on a little bit of muscle, trying to, like, drop maybe up another pant size, and, just really have some longevity of,
That's
like,
a great goal.
health and life. I'm not trying to, like, join a bodybuilding competition or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, no interest.
Mhm.
And, I do construction, so it would be nice if, like, lifting up a sheet of plywood didn't hurt so much. Like,
Yeah.
that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so like that's what I'm doing. And then, just kind of one kind of thing at a time I tackle. So it's like I switched over to hummus, but then even that I read the label and it's like, sunflower oil or canola oil. It's like, it's not olive or avocado, which are like the only two acceptable oils. And I was like, shit, I could just make hummus.
Yeah.
So I did. And it was way better.
Joke.
It had like
Awesome.
6 ingredients. And I was like, okay, can of chickpeas, tahini, water, lemon juice, the whole clove of garlic,
Yes.
and
Love garlic.
salt.
Okay.
Like, that's it. That's all you need. And
Yeah.
it was so freaking good. Celery, chopped up carrots, cucumbers.
How long does it keep for?
It kept a while. I was picking at that like one celery stalk a day. It lasted over a week.
I think that's important too. The medium you're using to eat it, celery stick.
Oh, well, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
mean-
versus chips.
Correct. Yeah.
Like guac's one of my favorite things.
Mm.
I haven't made it since I'm on this new thing, but my family has a house in Mexico, so like of gringos in North Carolina, I make the best guac there is. But like I'll never not have it. Like avocados are a good enough fat.
Totally.
Everything else in there is healthy and delicious
Yep.
and almost no calories. But the difference is I just won't buy chips. I'll just buy celery or, big hunks of bell pepper are perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to drop wheat, grain, and corn, which is also very difficult.
Why wheat?
I'm, shout out again. I'm mostly going off like Brandon's teachings. Apparently, wheat really fucks up your gut and leads to what's it called? Gut leaking, leaky gut.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know much about it.
So I thought it was like stomach ulcers,
but
apparently it's not. It's like way past the stomach in the actual intestinal lines. They like wheat will literally like poke holes in it.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's leaky gut. And so if you don't take some like drastic steps to patch those, / if you just keep eating wheat again, like the average American diet, then you just have constant like bloating and inflammation, which like I feel like most people just feel what they think is normal when in fact they're bloated and full of inflammation and they could feel like 5% better.
Yeah.
But most people don't want to do that. And it makes sense because I start to like think back like, oh, every time I have pizza, like it's so good. It's so good.
We love it.
But then I think about like, how I feel the next morning or the next time I got to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, why did I do that to myself? Like that was terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I cut out that and I started taking L-glutamine, which patches those holes.
Okay.
Again, Brandon.
Sure.
I'm only like 3.5 weeks into this thing, but I do feel like a lot better. And I went down 2 pant sizes.
Wow.
And
That's great.
I don't use a scale because I think they're depressing, but, you notice 2 pant sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I learned how to cook salmon. That was good.
Love salmon.
Yeah.
Love salmon.
Lots of lemon and dill and just grill it. Keep it really simple. And then I do a lot of baked vegetables. Like I'll do like a week's worth of vegetables. I'll chop everything up. I'll bake it all at once and then just throw it in a Tupperware and be like, okay, here's a scoop of that. You want red potato or sweet potato? I baked everything. So
good.
just
Love it.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm doing. It's not super fun, but like my girlfriend hates me right now. She hates
no.
it. Yeah, I was like, you can't bring any of your snacks here.
Yeah, I get it.
I was like, not one. She was like, even the peanuts? I was like, don't bring them here. They're fried. They're coated in wheat. I can't have one.
Yeah.
She was like, but I'll keep. I was like, a week later, I was like, maybe you could hide them in your purse or something. Like trying to like reach a middle ground. I was like, but if you bring Kit Kats, I'm gonna find them.
Right.
Like, I will find them.
And eat all of them in one sitting.
All of them. Yeah. All of them. Like I'm a giant. You see me. You're pretty tall, but I'm taller and bigger. Like I'm just a big dude. Like when I tell somebody, "Yo, snag me a Kit Kat," it's automatically a king size. Like they don't get me a regular Kit Kat.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's Corbett. Get him a king size Kit Kat. Like it's just he wants a king size, and even if I don't, I do.
Yeah. I don't want it, but if it's here.
But I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat all 8 of those little things instead of the 4. Or like a 2 mini is like, come on, man, you're
What
gonna
are
give
we
me a
doing?
mini Kit Kat? What is
Yeah.
that? Like, it's like, it's a tease.
Mhm.
I can't do it. But like, I don't know. We just jumped on a crazy health tear. I don't know why, but I guess you're. It sounds like you're kind of into that though. Being a physical trainer, you have to deal with the nutrition just as much.
I wouldn't say just as much. Like I took a nutrition class in school, but I think the people who are really into that are like really into that. I've got some basic ideas. I know.
But nutrition's like 80% of your goals. Like they say, abs are made in the kitchen.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So like when you're,
I think you also have to do things to strengthen the body. Like,
well, yeah, no, obviously.
if you've
like,
seen a kid that's really lean, it's like that's different than the guy who's ripped from the gym.
yeah, no, that's for sure. So you don't really do like a nutritional side to any of your coaching?
No, I do not. I think people should be really well schooled in it before they're telling people like really what to do. I'm fine if you want to give people some like general principles, but I think that should generally be left to people who are like professionals,
Yeah.
like actual professionals, not like,
Yeah,
I
like
got a
licensed
certificate.
nutritionists.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, that's, I mean, with the insane amount of information that is out there,
Mhm.
it can be daunting to sift through and at least know what is the accurate information.
And I don't know if there's enough of that. Like I
Enough
don't know if there are enough
sifting.
people. Yeah, I don't think people do enough sifting when they're already talking about it.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So no, it's not my domain.
Yeah. That's once again why I'll keep shouting out Brandon, because
Yeah.
like all he does is research.
Yeah.
It's all he does. It's full-time gig. All he does is train people,
It's awesome.
research on nutrition. He is a nutritionist.
Yep.
And he like specializes in people who, have like, something kind of wrong they have to work around, like a locked shoulder or like an injury or a surgery or something.
Mhm.
So he's very much about like, he's like, yeah, if you want to get, if you want to look like a superhero in 40 days, I know how to do that, but I don't want to train you. Like that's not, he's like, I
Okay.
want to do like life changing. His whole thing is the phoenix rising from its ashes with
Yeah.
like new habits instead of just like changing once for a month and then you go like gain it all back, like sustainable.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like so gung ho. I plug him all the time because he's just so into it, and it's like, I don't know, it's refreshing the amount of research he does, and like all his guests are doctors or nutritionists or fellow somebody who like was diabetic and super overweight and now they're like a bodybuilder, and it's like, dude, what an inspirational story. Like, how tell us. Yeah. So that part's super cool. Yeah. I strongly recommend you check it out. I think you'd like it. And it might help you on your sleep situation. I think he actually has one that's called like Sleep Habits, so you don't have to listen to 87 other episodes.
Yeah.
You just go right to Sleep Habits 101.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
So, full circle off the tangent. What real estate wise are you commercial?
That was a big tangent.
Yeah. We're just gonna. It's okay. That's why I'm here. I'm bringing it back. So residential, commercial, or both?
Residential only.
Okay. And do you have like a preferred clientele?
I work with investors more than like resident. Like I'm buying a house or selling a house. Like, I'm happy to work with everybody. I've done plenty with, just your average folks buying their first or selling their first home. But no, investors. I had a closing today with a investor team, husband-wife team today. So congrats to them.
And who do you work? Do you work under somebody? Are you with?
Same.
Is it EXP? No.
No, same company as Megan Beekman, who you had on the show. Costello Real Estate and Investments.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We just. I think I just put their episode out.
I think so. We listened to it.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I hope it was good. It was good. You were like, that's the test. If Megan went on, well, yeah. I got to get them back on because we were gonna invest in a property together.
Yeah.
Which I think we were talking about on the episode, and then we kind of had they had all their people price it. I had all my people price it, and then we had a phone call, and I was like, "There's just not enough money here.
Okay.
There's just not enough profit. I'm out basically." And they were like, "Okay, respectfully, sounds good."
Yeah.
And then I think an hour later, I hit them up and I was like, "Hey, I don't want this to, I wish you all the best.
Right.
I hope that, I was like, I hope it's, and they were like, no, totally, everything's cool. And I was like, and then they came on the podcast and I was like, so whatever ended up happening? They're like, well, no, we just did it solo. And I was like, oh, word.
Yeah.
Cool.
And they're under contract.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that, it sells and they make hundreds of thousands of dollars and they come back on the podcast and tell me I was an idiot. I would actually love for that to happen because I ran the numbers the best I could. And I was like, now that there's two of us, that means we get half, not this whole number. And I was like, this is just, I don't see it happening, but hopefully they get the number they wanted. I don't know what I don't know what it's listed for, but
I'm not sure.
Yeah. What do you mean? You didn't do any research before you came on the Orange Hammer?
About their
house? What
house?
the heck, man?
I'm sorry. It's on Zillow, I'm sure.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, it's the only house for sale in Apex because everything else is sold.
I think they're
already.
Cary.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Cary.
Cary.
Yeah.
Sorry, I totally throw Cary and Apex into the same bundle.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's wrong, but I do it.
I mean,
I know it's not technically correct. I mean, maybe it's morally wrong is more what I meant, but I just do it anyway. I'm like, they're in the Apex Cary zone. It's over there, that zone. They're not Raleigh and not Durham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
About the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's where the old people move to have kids when they're not that old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as one of those New Yorkers,
right.
people were like, oh, when are you moving to Cary? And I'm like, I'm never moving to Cary. I'm going the other direction.
Not a fan of Cary?
I'm not not a fan.
Okay.
I'm not shitting on Cary. But it's definitely not for me. The things that people find charming about Cary, I don't. And all the houses look exactly the same. And they're all really close together. And they all have no land. And I don't want to be a part of it. Yeah.
I do like her parents' house. They have an acre. Her dad built the house. It's a little space would be pretty cool.
Got a pond in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to build a house on 11 acres in Hurdle Mills, right outside Hillsboro.
There you go.
So that's more my zone. But I'm from 30 plus acres dead end farm road in upstate New York in the foot of the Catskill Mountains. So I'm just this was even kind of small. But when I bought this, the house next door was woods. So,
wow.
So I was like, this feels bigger. And then I saw them somebody came out to mark some trees that had to be cleared. And I was like, hey, before you do anything, can I just buy the land? And they were like, no, we're building a house. And I was like, please, just sell me. I'll give you what you paid for. I'll give you an extra 10 grand.
Yeah.
They bought that for $25K. Just the land. No, it was before I didn't know anything. Yeah. It was Carol Crabtree Builders.
Okay.
And, she built a great house.
Yeah.
And Lauren and I were friends while she lived there, and then she just moved, and I think she just sold it. But I was really bummed. I was like, man, I would kill to build a huge garage with an apartment above that I could rent out. And I was like, then I would never leave. Then I'd have my wood shop, and I'd just be good. Yeah. Yeah. And now that dream died. Yeah, very quickly.
But now you got your big 11 acre.
Yeah. No,
nice.
that's the new dream. I'm very excited about it. Yeah,
Awesome.
I was just up there yesterday shooting off some guns, making sure nobody was using my private range.
Good.
Yeah, my pops is helping me draw a house as we speak. So
Nice.
it's coming along.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's more frustrating than I thought.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you just don't think about this stuff when it's your house, when it's not your house. And then when it's your house, you're like, oh, shit. But where am I going to plug that one thing in?
Oh, okay.
Like, oh, yeah. Should we do built-ins there? Like, oh, no. Like, God, it's just like, should it be 12 feet or 11 and a half feet? Like, it's just like a lot of decisions. And, it's like,
okay.
It's like, I'm building a house for me forever. Like,
you want it to be right. So you don't want
to, and it's going to be slab on grade and spray foam. So changing stuff's going to be really hard. So I don't want to I want to get it right.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot. I sent it to my friend Jeremy. He sent me like 8 things on an email. He was like, you got to do all these 8 things. And I was like, I hate to even admit 1 through 7. I agree. Number 8, I'm not doing, but I was like, damn, but those 7 things I got to do.
Really good. Thank you.
Yeah, really good. I should put outlets there. Like, why did I think of that? Yeah. But yeah, it can be frustrating for sure. So before we wrap up, if investors are listening, and they don't like all the other realtors I've had on, and they want to hire you, what's the easiest way for them to contact you?
Phone's probably the easiest. My number's 317-292-6623. Email's also fine. Joe Sheryak at CastelloREI.com. Last name is Sheryak.
I was just gonna be like, you better spell that last name.
Yeah,
so
I got you.
You already took care of that.
Yeah.
What was that area code?
317.
Where's that from?
Indianapolis.
So
I grew up just south of Indianapolis.
Okay. That's Colts.
Go Colts.
Go Colts.
Huge Colts fan.
Okay. Yeah. I like hockey, but I know where everybody's from.
Okay.
Okay. So I think we detailed everything. We had a huge health rant, which is just good for everybody.
Everybody should hear
be
that.
Healthy. Take some vitamins, drink some water.
Yep.
It's not that hard. And make small changes.
Small changes over time.
Yeah. Investment realtor / if anybody needs some track coaching.
Yeah. Always game.
And then we've got our resident wedding painter. God, I still just like wrapping my mind around that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's killing it.
It's pretty awesome.
It looks so good.
Do you think that this is like, the idea would be it's big enough and full time enough that it is like the only job?
There are people who do it full time. So.
Oh, this is a thing.
Yeah.
You're nodding like you're like, dude, it's a thing. I had no idea.
I only know because
I follow people on Instagram, and I would love to make it a full-time gig. I could.
I mean,
should check her work.
Why not? I did.
No, like everybody.
Oh,
everybody listening.
I thought you were saying like you.
No.
I got her card. I didn't get yours.
Here. I don't have a card.
You should have a card.
I don't do cards.
You just don't do cards?
No.
What do you mean?
Blink.
But okay.
I can get all my contact info out. I can get your contact info in.
No, it's true. It's true. I don't know. There's something about that physical card that
I can't tell you how many of them I've thrown away.
I throw them all away after I type them into my phone.
I mean, but unless I feel like we connect really well, you're not getting into my phone. I only have so much space in my brain.
Is that why you hit me up on Instagram?
Absolutely is. Yeah.
Because I think
she might have had your card.
That's what I do. I just go through and follow everybody on Instagram.
I think right after then you followed me. I was like, follow back. And then I think the next day you probably hit me up and I was like, yeah, what's up? I was going to call you, but I didn't get your card. In my head, I was like, why didn't I get his card? Now I know why.
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we would have connected on Blink. If you asked for my card.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't like.
Right. We didn't do that.
Yeah. But so you don't have room in your phone, but when you do it through Blink, it saves to your phone.
Oh, it's not that I don't have space in the phone. It's just I don't we got to connect well if I'm going to put you in my phone.
Oh, okay. I guess we didn't connect that well.
No,
that's okay. It's okay.
Well,
it's okay.
And it's just like if we're going to talk, like I want to have something to say.
You don't have a form text that you just send out like I do to every card you get at networking events?
I don't.
Yeah, it's terrible. Don't do it.
No, but it's good that you do it because.
I mean, I just view it as it has to be done. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like you wake up in the morning, you got to drink water.
Yep.
Like for me, it's like you went to the networking event, you came home with business cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got to at least reach out and hope they need a kitchen remodel. Like hope, you never
Right.
know. Of course, everybody's got a contractor,
Mm-hmm.
just like everyone's got a realtor.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm
Fair enough of us.
sure it's got to be difficult breaking in because there's just a million realtors.
Yeah, I mean, it is something to do that is more professional than coaching was. I feel like that's a step forward. It's to all you investors listening, probably not my long-term gig. I like it. I think it does add value to the person buying or selling. I think the no agent option is dicey. You can do it for sure. If you're like really on top of it and pay attention to the market, you can do everything an agent does. But knowing how all of it works, knowing the leverage situations, I think is where an agent provides value. Right now, I've kind of got this, I want to do a speaking gig thing. So like not consulting, but going into a business saying, hey, this is how you can like talk to people better. I think that'd be cool. I'm re-listening to How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. If you've not read it, one of the most influential books of my life. And, through this fourth time through, I think, I'm like, people really could like use to hear this information, and I would love to help people connect better. So I think I need to implement some of those strategies myself and try and
you got to create like a e-course or something.
Yeah, e-course speech, but like there are so many books like that. Like the Culture Code is another one that talks about how groups that are really good and cohesive produce the best stuff. Places where it's safe and okay to fail because it's trying and iterating time and time again, and taking that into groups
like a Google.
Yeah,
always just like constantly innovating, changing, having their employees like try stuff on their own.
Yeah, and it's like okay to do that, and it's okay if it doesn't work because you tried something.
Yeah,
because eventually it's going to be the right thing. So
yeah, there's not a lot of companies that have that overhead to spare.
Right.
I
agree.
Like Google, they should do that because if there's a company that could spare it, it's Google.
An Apple.
And Apple. Yeah, for sure. Like you guys could spare to have your employees just screw off for an hour and who knows what they might come up with. But I don't have that. I don't have that ability. Like if my carpenters who I pay by the hour or by the job screw off for an hour, then I paid them to do nothing. The job didn't get done. They did not develop some crazy new way to frame a house.
Well, yeah.
And, so it's definitely something that really only works at scale.
I think you can have a cohesive group that does good things, like regardless of your scale, though. Like if you've got two people that work together. Yeah.
I meant the point you were making about how like some companies encourage their employees to just like not work on the main thing and like do their own thing.
Yeah.
And that somehow that leads to like amazing breakthroughs. Like I don't think it became a mainstream thing, but that Google Glass.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
I do.
10 years ago or whatever. And it was like going to be the biggest thing. And then immediately every casino was like, nope, banned.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen. But I'm pretty sure that was somebody who just like, I don't think that was one of the like main pipeline projects. I think that was what you're discussing. Like when somebody was just kind of like, yeah, this is my screw off hour. Wouldn't it be cool to have a Google Glass? And they like, all of a sudden Google was like, hey, Jim, get in here. We saw your notes when we were getting coffee.
That's pretty all right.
We'd like to fast track that.
Yeah.
But you never know where cool ideas come from. That's true. Yeah. That's an interesting point. Yeah. I guess you just have to be real, just like in general, you just have to be super open-minded to where it might come from.
Yeah.
Because if you just always assume that all the ideas are going to come from certain sources, then you end up ignoring all those other sources.
Well, I mean, like for you, I'm sure there are times where you're like, I feel like there's a more efficient way to do this. you see like this might be it, you try it, and it's like, oh, I didn't get it right the first time, but that definitely is going to be more efficient when I make it the normal process.
Yeah. Oh, totally. 100%.
So I feel like it's just trying things, and like it's okay to try things.
Yeah.
Now, like when you have a contractor that you're bringing in that you need to get the work done in this amount of time in this way, like just do it the way we know that's going to work. But, you know, just different times.
Yeah.
Different
No,
ways
I mean,
to try.
that is a good point. That is a good point for sure. Yeah. If you don't, there is a point where if you don't try something new, you'll never change or innovate or progress in any way. Yeah. That is true. Yeah. That's well said, man.
Thanks.
Well, on that profound moment, I think we'll wrap it up right there.
Good deal.
Yeah, definitely. Investors, check out. Say your last name again?
Sheryak.
Sheryak. I don't even know why I tried. Yeah, and if you're looking for a live wedding painter, check out the Instagram. Absolutely. What is it again?
AshleyRoberts.art.
Don't forget the dot. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And as always, the Orange Hammer podcast is on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of those fun places. You're probably listening on Spotify. Feel free to like and subscribe. Also, leave me a 5-star review. Apparently, that's how people find it. I didn't know that helps with the algorithm. I found that out from Brandon, of all people.
Perfect.
Yeah. And and if you need to hire me in the Triangle or want to come on the podcast or want me to talk about something specific, shoot me an email, corb@wstg.com or 845-489-6057. Guys, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for
I
having
really
us.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Join us.
Let me know next time you guys want to come back.
Appreciate it.
All right. Bye, everybody.